who say, okay, I have a lot of money, but you have no money unless you take profits.
When the first ever spot ETF was created for gold 10x.
And the only thing I really knew was Bitcoin at the time, so I just invested very heavily into that. Rode it all the way up.
What's up?
My name is Jeff. Even the creators have said it's going to be the predecessor of CBDC.
What that taught me was that I need to be self-sufficient.
A solid DCA investment strategy, and pretend the red sell button doesn't even exist.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Here we are at DGen Roundtable. Yeah, so today we got some interesting things going on. We're just going to be talking a little bit about, onboarding. We got, as well as the importance of meme communities. Zenith, I see you over there with your multiple sunglasses. That's man, this guy's got some freaking talent, dude.
Fun fact, if sunglasses are polarized and they start blocking out the screen, blocking each other out, you can't see anything. All right, this is so much better, I gotta say.
I love this. Literally, he has no glasses on, and then we start this whole thing up, and bam, there they are. Well, anyways, how you doing, my co-host there, Josh, today?
Oh, what's going on, man? It's been a long weekend, dude. Just been super tired. Was down at the stadium today and ran into a little trouble down there. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just been a long weekend. Looking forward to the stream tonight, though. I was expecting to be tied up doing something else tonight, but my plans came available, so definitely wanted to hop on with you guys and looking forward to it. Jeff, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, bud. I'm actually out of town right now, taking care of a couple things, but besides that, same old, regular work, crypto research, nothing too special.
Awesome, I guess I'll go ahead and hop in here. Hello, everybody. I'm Will. I'm the fifth member of this lovely episode today, and things are going great. I am back up in south of Dallas and just chilling. Happy to be here, ready to get started. Let's get into it.
Right on. Awesome. All right. So yeah, guys. There's been, because the bull right now has been ramping up, right? There's a lot of people who are looking at these green candles going, maybe I want to jump into that. What is this whole hexagon thing, right? And actually, Will, you got a little bit of a story about that because of what you were doing. What was it, earlier today or was it yesterday?
Yeah, so I had actually just yesterday I was doing some shooting training with a very good friend of mine, Matt. He runs a radio station out of Central Texas. He runs a segment on a radio station hosted by KMIL. I occasionally will post the link to it, like the Facebook Live version of it. But he is a former military fellow. He used to do a whole lot of like security stuff back in the day, and what he does now for his profession is he teaches people how to better defend themselves, and he also teaches concealed carry classes in addition to like his radio show that he hosts, which is totally awesome. But anyways, I was over there, and I'm gonna take these off. Well, actually no, I'm leaving them on. Screw it, the sunglasses stay on, we do it live. But I was over doing this shooting training with him, and I was speaking with some folks over our lunch break because they had noticed that I've got the Cuatro Cinco tattoo right here for delayed gratification for Hex, and they were asking me like, what does it mean, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, basically you can lock up your money for 15 years and earn yield on it, just like a regular certificate of deposit at a bank, except you don't need a bank, you are your own bank and everything like that. And so I gave them the quick little spiel on what is Hex and how it can be utilized and everything. And they liked the sound of it. And so I gave them the links to our show, and I gave them the links to our Telegram, and they seemed pretty excited. And it was just altogether a good time. So I spoke to about, I don't know, it was maybe like 7 or 8 people, but it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I really that's the thing. We're going to be running into this a lot as the bull is just going crazy and we're getting a lot of green candles. I think we're going to be running into, especially like if we start getting out into, like different parties, things like that. I see that a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, that crypto thing, you heard about that Bitcoin thing. I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's kind of old right at this point, but have you heard about Hex, right? And with Hex, there's going to be the whole Pulsechain talk and all that. And, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, hey, $100 for a single swap on Ethereum. That kind of sucks. Yeah, well, over at Pulsechain, you only got a couple of cents. You might want to go take a look over there, kind of play around a little bit. So it's definitely going to be one of those things that is going to be popping up a lot. So yeah, I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
It's kind of crazy to think about it and talk about it, that like we are still early to everything, but the truth is we're still very early to many things, including this cycle. Because just remember, we had the official bottom at the end of last year. So very beginning of 2023 was the official bottom. Since then, we've effectively 2x or 3x, whether you're looking at Bitcoin or Ethereum. But the realization is that we still have the halvening to come. And traditionally, that kind of marks that launching point for that real hockey stick part of the 4-year cycle, which means that there's still plenty of gains to be had, especially in this current cycle, not even to include all the future cycles to come. So like, yeah, we're still early, and I gotta tell you, it feels good.
It really does. It really does. I mean, when you're looking at it, right, you see this like at the charts, it's like a big, almost like loop, right? But you're still looking at that large green candle, and you're like, technically speaking, this is still like if you back up, right, you zoom out, you're like, yeah, it's not as big as you would think, right? So yeah, we're totally early, man. Jeff, what's up with you?
Hey, bud. I tried to chime in a second ago, but my mic was on mute. Nothing. As far as like a pulse chain perspective, another good way to think of it, or at least I was thinking of. So say you want to come up with your own token, or you're a developer, and you want a successful project, and it could very well be successful on Ethereum, like just like a ton of others have. But for smaller scale people and investors, you're going to face obstacles as far as gas fees. So do I want to launch a product that's going to make it harder to acquire and harder to use to take advantage of what it was made for? It's kind of like Hex. Like Hex was made to be able to stake whenever you wanted, a week, a month, whatever, and the gas fees kind of became the downfall. So if I'm writing something new and I want it to be successful, do I want to do it on Ethereum or something that is an Ethereum clone but faster, 10,000 times cheaper, and EVM compatible? So, I mean, technically you could launch it on Pulsechain and make a dual platform and launch on Ethereum too. But I guess the way I thought about it was, yeah, if I was coming up with a new project and I wanted to take off, one, I would consider Pulsechain because, like I said, cheaper gas fees, easier for new people to kind of be able to afford, and two, the community. If you could really get a good, like, strong foothold in the community, you could really start like a grassroots coin that's gonna do well. That's my thoughts.
True, 100%. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to the people in the chat right now. I'm going to go ahead and say hello to Fast Abdul. Let's talk bridges. Let's go. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Hexakin Lost in Asia. Will Stevenson. Who's that? I wonder. We got Jay in here as well. Well as Frankie says relax. I love it. Hexakin enthusiast. Heck yeah, man. Welcome to the show. Moon Pilled Irrational Optics, the man, the legend himself. Right on. Hey, guys, thank you for tuning in. And then, hey, we got Dre who just popped in as well. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is something that we definitely, it's something we want to talk about. It's something that is a very interesting subject. And, as you were saying, Jeff, yeah, this is definitely the time to be getting in, especially if you got like any projects that you want to launch yourself and all that.
Yeah, it's not too late. Like Zenith was saying, you're basically still like, the price is essentially still like Genesis Pulsechain price. Like you can get in for like what, 17% over sacrifice price. Now you could have gotten a lot cheaper a couple not a month, it was actually over a month, but a little over a month ago, you kind of get in cheaper, but you are still like absolutely ridiculously early. Like I haven't stopped DCAing because the prices are still fantastic. Will there be a point that I'll stop? Probably, but I'm not. It's not even close. Not even in the realm of being close. When I you're gonna see stuff like PX, Pulsechain, PulseX move somewhat together, obviously because liquidity bonding, or Hart's law as he likes to call it. So, I mean, technically, a lot of the economic power in the ecosystem is going to get split up because now people in the ecosystem are not just buying Hex, they're buying those 4 coins, if you're including EHEX. But still, say say you think Hex is going to go back to all-time high. And technically anything cheaper than 52 cents, you're getting a bargain. So if you look at it like that, but like I said, some economic power might be getting divided between the 4 coins now, but still, PX is at $0.015. So it's still 40x away from all-time high. So I still think that the price is ridiculously cheap. It's a bargain, in my opinion, not financial advice.
Yeah, and technically, I think that's what's really going to be bringing people in because they see those green candles, right? And they're like, "Oh, I want to jump in. I want to jump in." But it's actually healthy for them to jump in right now. Like this is the good time for FOMO. So I don't know. Like I know that RG3 and the gang, they've got the whole Pulsechain tour thing going on, and that's a great opportunity. But as a group, right? What do you think like we could possibly do to try and onboard as many people as possible?
Okay. Well, I think when you say we, I don't know if you're talking about us as a group or individuals or just people in crypto in general. But if you're talking about us, I think we're doing exactly what we're doing is we're doing a good job at it. Education is huge. If you want to invest in anything, you want to know about it. You don't want to just go blindly throw your money into shit. That's a good way to lose all your money. So yeah, the best way to network, talk about it, get out there. Just like we're doing. Anybody could do it. Like we kind of just came together and started this show just we enjoyed crypto and we enjoyed helping people. So yeah, I think we're doing a pretty good job. But if we're talking about the average person, the best way to recruit people, talk about it. I didn't know anything about the system until I had bought some Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then I talked to a buddy of mine and told him, he's like, well, dude, have you heard of Hex? So just, you never know who you're going to talk to. And they're going to be like, oh shit. And like, oh, like really? And just get into it. Like I didn't have any Hex. And then I just went on a deep dive and studied the tokenomics and everything about it. And that just literally sucked me in. So a lot of people, they'll say Hex is an IQ test. So you never know. You might talk to a few people. They might be interested in it. And it could spread like wildfire. But the best thing to do is just talk about it.
It's kind of funny. It might be an IQ test that indicates both the folks on the high end of the spectrum and the low end of the spectrum, and all the folks in the middle are like, "Oh, that shit's a scam, dog. Don't deal with that." I don't know. I like the peanut brain diamond hand approach of just like, "Oh, this sounds cool. I'm buying it. Why not? Lottery ticket or something like that." Now, I have turned Hex into something other than lottery ticket money. I got it fucking tattooed on my arm for Christ's sake, like. But I like the principle of the way that it functions more so than like the all of the crazy super duper highfalutin society game theories. And oh damn, Larry's gonna kill me if I call it game theory. All the mechanics of the system and the way that people interact with it. I'm quite fond of everything that it does, and irrespective of, well, I mean, the price is necessary, but the mechanics of locking something away and getting yield on it, and then very likely being able to sell it later for a higher price with more coins is pretty cool to me. So who knows what the price is going to do, but yeah, I like the system.
I love Chad's whole comment here, left side of the bell curve.
Left side gang.
Hopefully we'll see. Peanut brains, diamond hands, baby. I don't know, but it sounds cool, so I'll buy it. Like Shiba or Dogecoin last cycle.
Both sides of the bell curve are just saying, I just have to wait to get money, and then the center saying, but I can't trade it now, or long exit, or short it in 3 times for 1 month. It's like, yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to reward you for being patient and having conviction and really locking it up and not emergency unstaking before the halfway point. So that's why Hex does what it does. As far as onboarding new people goes, I think this is something that we've traditionally been pretty bad at in space. And the reason for it is we don't understand who we're trying to talk to and understand what they want. This is something we covered on Friday with book club for how to win friends and influence people. The whole point of this book was understand who the other person you're talking to is, understand what interests and motivates them, and take genuine interest in that person. So if you are looking to onboard people, understand what it is they want. You can't just throw random shitcoin number 69 at people and expect them to buy it because you tell them it's awesome. This is why we think why I personally think Hex is one of the best ways to onboard people into crypto, which is, hey, you know that certificate of deposit at the bank? That's the second most popular product they offer. Yeah, we have that on blockchain with no middleman, and you hold it the entire time. It never leaves your hands, and you maintain 100% control. Hex is a fantastic asset to do this with because it takes the one-for-one comparison in real life and just shows them how to get it on blockchain.
No, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Josh, didn't you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I can throw in some information here. You guys got some good information. I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here. Maybe not necessarily devil's advocate, but take another alternate approach to it and have a little conversation or spark some interest or some thought here. But there are two things right now. So don't get me wrong. Pulsechain was created with some outstanding tokenomics. It was created to be successful. It was created so that once adoption does take place, it will continue to put forth outstanding tokenomics and it would be a success. But there are two very important aspects that have Pulsechain right now sort of playing catch up to most of the other L1s. And number one is it's still the new kid on the block. All right. So almost all L1s have already been born and they've already experienced their first bull market. Keep that in mind. We've got Solana, we've got Phantom, we've got all the other L1s. So Pulsechain still has to prove itself in a bull market. Do I think that that's going to be an issue? I don't think that that's going to be an issue. But right out the gate, you already have L1s that have already sort of made a name for themselves, and they've already cemented themselves as potential winners in the upcoming market, in the upcoming bull cycle, because of what they did in the last cycle. So that's one aspect of Pulsechain where they're still playing a little bit of catch up. The second area, which I kind of hinted at in my first monologue there, is that Pulsechain is still the new kid on the block. And we haven't seen exactly what will happen with this ecosystem once larger and larger adoption occurs. Everything is running pretty smooth now, but what happens when you really start stressing the system? And so those are some things to keep in mind. And, you know, I don't want to be somebody that hops in here and sort of brings up, be a devil's advocate or something like that. But I'm also a realist. These are some things that we're looking at being so brand new in the system, like Zenith was talking about. But do I think it has the potential to be phenomenal? Outstanding. It's got all the tokenomics there and it's got the potential to do it. Let's just keep in mind that it still has to prove itself, which I don't think it'll be an issue. But what were you saying, Nate?
Yeah, no, the one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is what ended up happening during launch, right? The bridge, there was a lot of volume that was trying to get through there. And so a lot of people's money, quite frankly, just got kind of caught up, and it took a couple of days for it to bridge over. I'm a little bit worried, and kind of like agreeing with you here, I'm a little bit worried about when there's a lot more people, when we like say 10x the amount of users, right? You know, are these bridges and everything going to be able to hold up? And I believe that's kind of where all these projects that are coming through, I believe that's where it's going to be vitally important, right? That, you know, they kind of spread the love a little bit there, and so things are going to be able to run smoother. But that's definitely something, yeah, that I worry about.
Well, Nate,
oh no,
I'm sorry. What happened?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right when I talk, Zenith, I jinxed him. You back?
Oh, we're back, baby.
Ooh,
We're so back.
Nate, this is what I was kind of thinking about. I could be wrong, but I think like within a week after Pulsechain launched, I think like either nobody confirmed if it's true or not, but you had some people like looking at on-chain data, and that's what they thought it was. That I think like a bunch of the Zen guys, maybe even Jack Levin or somebody, they stress tested. Like they started purposely doing as many transactions with Zen and stuff like that. I don't remember the details. It was so long ago, 6-7 months ago, but they purposely stress tested. And you even had, what's his name? Like Breetep, the head developer, or I don't know if he was head developer, but he was a developer. And he was saying, yeah, this looks classic 101, somebody trying to break the system, stress testing it, and it's doing nothing. So, but that's just, I mean, maybe that was a small community, or maybe it won't be able to hold up. I don't know. I think there's certain influx of when the bridge went open. I think just everybody was excited, and it was just a lot more volume than even people were prepared to happen. And hopefully they fix that. I don't think you'll get that much of an influx again, unless all of a sudden tomorrow you see Richard Hart beats the SEC, Hex is now a commodity. Like then you might see it again. But if that's the case, like it is what it is, or maybe they fixed the issue. I don't know. I think there was updates to the bridge. As far as Josh, Josh makes a good point about being the new kid on the block, but also that's a catch-22. It does give it cause that it hasn't proven anything, but that's also the best time to be in an asset is before it proves something, because once it proves something, those gains diminish. So it's a double-edged sword. You could cut yourself, or you might cut somebody with it. In this case, cutting somebody with it's a good thing. So it has higher upside. It has higher downside too, but it has higher upside. And when you look at things like the founder, the community, and the tokenomics, I believe that it is well worth the upside potential.
Hey, Jeff, I think something that you also have to keep in mind is how gatekept Hex and the Pulsechain ecosystem is. That's going to be another upwind that's going to have to be overcome. Again, it's completely, I'm rooting for this thing 100%. You know what
Josh,
I'm saying?
Can you elaborate on what you mean by gatekept?
Yeah.
Like how?
So
yeah.
Well, I go ahead and finish what you were.
Nope, that was it. Just asking you to expand on that one.
To expand on being gatekept. So, obviously, like with the Hex ecosystem being gatekept, it's the true functionality and the true performance and how the price performance has held up over time. It wasn't true factual data that was getting put out across various coin tracking sites. And you're already, when Pulsechain came out, it was on, was that OKX? Was that the original? That was one of the original centralized exchanges it was on, and it got pulled off of that. And it's all the bullish news and all the bullish momentum and the bullish price indicators that we saw with Hex wasn't put out. It wasn't, explained to the world, so to speak. And we're seeing a lot of those same actions being done on Pulsechain. So, if somebody else has a better way of explaining being gatekept, I mean, I'm not the best Webster definition, the Webster dictionary definition of that. So if somebody else
that was perfect.
has
I just wanted to clarify that when we say gatekept as a community, it's not like we're trying to gatekeep each other within our own community, because that can become very detrimental, honestly. But what it was is just the main market itself. It's weird to talk about traditional institutions in DeFi because we are a untraditional institution, but for the longest time, like you were talking about, especially on, I think it was CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, they specifically delisted Hex as an asset on the ranking of its market cap size, purely because the people in charge of those websites just didn't like the asset or didn't think it was worth putting on the page. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about gatekept. They can try to deny us, but they can't deny the results.
It's absolutely ridiculous too that they would do that. It's like...
Alan, oh my gosh.
I'm Googling this person. Hang on a second.
I don't know who it is. Yeah, I gotta take my shades off to read some of these comments because I feel like there's some pretty good comments in the stream right now.
Yeah, well, what Taylor says here in the comments, I think is correct as far as like, especially with being gatekept. We need exchanges to send Pulse from. She's 100% right.
I'll push back on that a little bit. Does having access to exchanges and being listed on exchanges, what does that do for you? What it does is it's a little bit of marketing in and of itself, and it provides one more to exchange it. However, one of the big pushes that all the RH stuff has been going for lately is decentralization, which is if you go to hex.com, you cannot use that website anymore to stake your Hex. You instead have to either download the software and learn how to do it yourself, which, by the way, is very easy. Even if someone as far on the left side of the bell curve as I am can do it, then I believe that you can too. But the point is that decentralization is one of our strengths. Is getting on exchanges good? Yeah, absolutely. No publicity is bad publicity, or any publicity is good publicity. But at the same time, we have everything we need to operate already on our own without the use of centralized exchanges or anything. Would it help? Absolutely. Do we need it? Absolutely not. We're a grassroots community. We just need each other.
Yep, 100%. Just like you were. So, when was the best time to get into Bitcoin? When it was being gate kept. You know what I mean? So
When
I
it
hate
was
to go back.
hard. When it was hard to get into.
It was hard, but guess what? When when it's hard, it's rewarding. So I also feel like you're starting to see some of that gatekeeping come down. You're starting to see more people talk about it. Like us, like you got what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? BitBoy the other day saying, you know what? I'll say it. Hex isn't a scam. Hex is awesome. Blah 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 blah. So you're seeing stuff like that come out. Altcoin Daily spoke about it. What's his name? Joe Parra spoke about it. I think you're going to see all this gatekeep, not all of it, but I think the gatekeeping that does come down this cycle is going to come down simultaneously at the same time. It's going to be like a snowball effect. You're going to see a lot of it. Who knows? Like right now, you have crypto.com, their coin crow is like skyrocketing on Pulsechain. When it first launched, it was worth like a 20th of the price of the Ethereum version. Then it shot up to a tenth of the price. Now it's at like half. Like it's insane. So if crypto.com could say, look, we have a lot of value over here. We want to offer this. We want to offer P Crow to our customers. Why do we want to deny them money? They stuck with us and buy our coin. We want to give them, their coins for free on the Pulsechain system, so they could offer P Crow and Pulsechain. So we are still gate kept. The best thing about it is that's the best time to make gains. And also, all right, let's say, for example, you have a lot of Ethereum, but not necessarily Ethereum. You use Ethereum for your coin, and you like to swap, you like to ratio trade, and then something like Uniswap goes down or something like that. Well, then you have to use some other exchange that it could have lower liquidity, and because of that, you're going to get burned in permanent loss and stuff like that. Your slippage is going to be crazy. Not a permanent loss, slippage. I'm sorry, but you don't have to worry about that. Our biggest DEX, which has like millions and millions and millions of dollars of liquidity, you can run it yourself. Nobody can take it down. So there will never be a bigger DEX on Pulsechain than PulseX. So you literally can run the biggest DEX with the most liquidity on your own computer. So you're gate kept by nobody. Like you're restricted by no one. You can do everything you want to do. And so also, I'm going to make a good point in the comments. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but they said that the cool thing about Hex is if you stake it for long enough, it can never go up a single cent, but you'll still beat the S&P 500 just because of the staking mechanism where you're going to get a yield from it, which is
wild
awesome
to think about, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. If it doesn't go, if right now, right here, the price stays the same forever, say it becomes a stable coin and you're going to yield and get 40%, that's like 5-6 years in S&P.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely awesome. Just that entire idea, right? It's like, screw the stock market. We don't need ya.
Well, hey, just as a reminder, the stock market did just recently make new all-time highs, and it only took it, 2 years to do so? I'm going to pull up my thing right here. Yeah, we're currently sitting at 487 on the SPY, and the previous all-time high was 479, I believe. And we did this, only the 22nd of January. So it literally took 2 full years just to get back to where we were 2 years ago. And by the way, that's not even accounting for inflation.
That's wild. Yeah, actually, Jay popped in some thoughts on specifically as far as like onboarding people. If we could pull those up, just a couple of thoughts. Yeah, multiple ways.
Only a few.
Yeah. No, and Jay's right about this. I mean, see, that's the thing about that I was thinking about as far as like exchanges go, right? A lot of people are going to go to the exchanges, buy Pulse from there, and then from there they can just send it right over to Pulsechain. That was kind of the idea that I had. It's a lot easier for people like the normies, right? But yeah, that's going to be the other thing too.
Link. Yep, that would be interesting if there was a fork of Chainlink on the Pulsechain. I know that there's a lot of cool like potential forks that could be had. Like we just talked to Fast Abdul, and they're forking Aura, like the Aura convex balancer like thing with their 2FUX system in respect to the FUX ecosystem or to the PH ecosystem, specifically the FUX exchange, the PHUX. Well, but as far as onboarding and getting money over into Pulsechain works, Tyler brought up a good point. It's a bummer that Coast doesn't work for folks down here in Texas. I'm not sure why that is. I'm a Washington State resident as of now, and I don't want to change my residency to Texas, partially for this reason, because I use Coast semi-periodically to onboard into the Pulsechain. It's actually quite simple. If you guys haven't used Coast yet, it's pretty easy. You can either send Ethereum stablecoins to a wallet address, and then from that point, it'll charge a small fee, and then you can mint Coast like straight onto Pulsechain Coast stablecoins from those Ethereum stablecoins. So it's pretty decent. It's a easy system. Oh, you can also do like wire transfers, which take longer, but you pay less fee when you do the wire transfers. And I think you can do ACH, and you can use like Revolut.
Yeah, I use
or
ACH.
Wise. Yeah, ACH gives you the best bang for your buck. You pay the least fee, and also if you want to pay lower fees, then you can buy the weight token both on the Ethereum side and on the Pulsechain side. And they have links to do that on the 0x Coast website. But yeah, Coast is super awesome. Yeah,
It's really
agree,
awesome.
Elaine.
Not only that too, but it also the swap method. It uses
Mhm.
PETUS.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Yep.
I use it all the time.
Say it uses penis.
Pateus.
Uh,
And when they created that site, they so when they created that protocol, they had so much room for just people to mispronouncing. I pronounce it Pateus. Some people pronounce it Piteus.
this is not 9-inch.
or
Hideous.
Piteas or Pateus. What there's a whole bunch of ways. PITEAS.
Can you
So-
elaborate on that real quick? I saw that and I was completely lost.
Piteus or Coast?
Yeah, Pateus.
So Pateus is a DEX aggregator, much like Matcha or 1inch, where it will send out bids to all the different DEXs. So if you want to swap Pulsechain into Pulsex, or if you want to swap Pulse into Pulsex, and you use Pateus, then what it'll do is it'll grab most of the liquidity probably from the Pulsex exchange V1. Might grab some from V2. It should grab some from the Fux. It should grab some from the 9-inch. It should grab some from the 9 mil. It'll grab some from SparkSwap. It'll grab from all the sources and combine it into one order. Now it costs a little bit more gas to do that, but the gas is insignificant in Pulsechain. So so you get the best aggregated prices using Pateus. It's just like using a DEX aggregator on Ethereum. I want to say that they're like a fork of either 1inch Matcha, CowSwap, or something like that. But I don't know where Pateus came from. It's pretty cool. I followed them on Twitter and they followed me back. So I think they like interacting with their customers, unless it was a fake account, which happens.
Send one Pateus.
Yeah,
Send one back.
They're great. I've used them a couple times. I like them.
Yep.
But Will, you said something about Chainlink. I think you said if they fork the Chainlink, I think Chainlink's, I think it's the ERC20s. I don't even think you need to fork it.
Yeah, so there is Chainlink on like the coin, or the coin is on Pulsechain already. There's already a copy, just like every other copy was made that existed before May 12th or May 13th of 2023.
You're saying the protocol.
So I'm thinking, potentially the protocol. If somebody gets like a wild hair up their ass and they decide like, hey, the thing that Chainlink's doing on Ethereum, like we can do that on Pulsechain. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, the whole point of Chainlink is to basically take information from different chains and amalgamate it all into one source. So like, I'm not entirely sure the use case of it. Like, I don't really know a whole lot about Chainlink. I own some as like a scratcher bet because I figure like, why not? But like, I'm not sure how useful it would be, or how like crazy awesome it would be.
Yeah, he was talking about actually forking it for Pulsechain. Maybe it's a Roundtable project. I don't know.
Just imagine if the developers came over and did it themselves. Like, whoa, shit, Pulsechain's kind of cool.
That would be cool. I mean, it's possible. Well, we will see what happens. This bull run's got a lot of crazy potential that could happen. So
it does.
Nothing.
You guys,
possibility.
You guys want to hear something funny?
Yes.
Let's hear something funny.
You guys are over here, you guys are over here talking about aggregators and DEXs and all that stuff. I've done maybe 5 transactions on PulseX. So when it comes time to DCA out, I'm probably going to need like a low-key refresher course from you guys on how to get the money out, because like I've done a majority of my DCAs, and I don't play around in the market. I don't day trade. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm just sitting back waiting at this point. So probably going to need a little low-key little low key tutorial from you guys. So
You,
just
Hell
keep
yeah.
you
that in
can
mind.
you can book a consultation with me. I'll give you a good discount.
There we go. All right, I like
yeah,
that.
book a consultation with me, Josh. We're
I like
we're
it.
good. We're good.
I like it.
Oh boy.
One thing that I
that's
think
a
we
Ravens.
might have lost in we've lost context of is, but remember back to the early days of the launch. This is something I encountered recently when I was on vacation trying to buy some loan token because I wanted to do some, just get a position. But one of the things that I realized was I had to start a new wallet because I was away from my main computer with my real wallet. And then when I went to Pulsechain, I was like, oh shoot, I have no actual pulse for gas for any transactions. And it's just
But the
one
bridge-
additional for the bridge. Yeah.
fixes that.
Bridge does fix that. Okay, that's good. I just remember like this was something that we touched at the very beginning of the launch, and then after that, I know a lot of us have never had to worry about it again because the main bag had pulse in it, and that is the gas. But I know it's just one more hurdle that you can potentially run into as a new person, which is when you want to use a bridge to a new system, you have to make sure that you have gas to actually transact on the other side. If you are not finding a way to transmit whatever asset you have that is not the wrapped version of the gas asset on that chain. For example, I know this is something that I experienced and I know other people have experienced when trying to like test out stuff on Phantom. It's like, how do you bridge money from the Ethereum network to the Phantom network and then have Phantom, the actual token Phantom, on that network to then convert whatever you brought over there. So for example, if I had wrapped USDC or wrapped ETH transmit to Phantom network, now on Phantom, I have wrapped USDC and wrapped ETH, but no Phantom to convert that to native Phantom. So it's a hurdle you got to think about. It's one more thing that we got to figure out to onboard people in, is find that easy answer for them.
I think that's something that we had very seriously ought to consider. And this, I take it back. Like, this isn't even something we ought to consider. This is something that I am going to do. I'm making the commitment now, like while we are live, is I'm going to create a playlist of videos. And most of it's going to be like stuff from Whiteboard Crypto, stuff from Crypto Hexplained, stuff from Crypto Coffee, stuff from, like, I want to build a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from 0 to 1, like for folks that need onboarding into the system. Like, there's a problem of folks don't have, like, there's tons of information that exists on the internet, and if you know where to look, you can find it all. But the problem is that, like, there is no centralized source of information. And this is, kind of like tying it back to my great love and need to create Excel spreadsheets and documents and things like that. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a like a YouTube playlist or something like that on my channel that basically just says, like, hey, this is like how you start your onboarding process. Like, this is how you make a Coinbase account. This is how you make a Kraken account. This is how you make an account on Coast. This is how you make an account on fucking Binance or whatever, like just a nice little start. And then step 2, this is how you buy Ethereum. This is how you change Ethereum. Okay, now you need a MetaMask. This is how you create a MetaMask. This is how blah 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 blah. Like, I don't need to create all these videos. They all already exist. I just need to put them in order so that way other people can basically like start here and then go through like stupid little crypto university playlist and then end up as like I know some things like hey, here's background information, here's actionable information, right? Like, you go through the background information playlist, you go through the actionable information playlist. This is the stuff you need to know. These are the steps you need to take in order to get to like this place where you're now at like at least a beginner level, and you can sort of kind of understand the things that we're talking about without us having to need to like hold your hand and walk you through via like a consultation or anything like that. So that's something I'm going to do. I have spoken, and now it's got to happen.
You have spoken. Hey, Will. Well, there was a website that was supposed to be helpful for onboarding people. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, so there is Hex Scout, which actually does a very good job of that. So Hex Scout, let me see if I have the link super handy. I don't, because I closed that tab, but I can find it real quick. Somebody else go ahead and talk while I'm getting that pulled up.
Yeah, because that was a good idea. I think it was when SJ was on. I think she showed us that website, and basically, like, step by step, will just take you through the whole process. Super easy for onboarding people.
No, it is awesome. It shows like
You're on mute.
outcomes, what your yield will be if you invest at this rate, that rate. It compares things. It'll show you EX, PX. Like, it even talks, like, I think it says a lot of game theory in it. Like, it's a fantastic website. It really is.
Hex Scout is a fantastic website specifically for Hex and the Richard Hart ecosystem stuff. If you want like more generalized blockchain and crypto knowledge, Whiteboard Crypto, that will shut it out, is a fantastic resource. It's a YouTube channel, and they break down tons of topics covering everything. They will deep dive on like singular chains about like, what is this chain? Why does it exist? How does it differentiate from the other ones? Versus just like general concepts. Like, shoot, Jeff, you were talking earlier about impermanent loss. There's a great video on there about impermanent loss, and it tells you, yeah, sure, you can stake and earn yield on stuff, but this is the risk that happens in case either of these tokens moves pretty hard. It means you might miss out on one token and just get your entire staking position paid out in the majority of the other. That's one of the downsides. And by the way, shout out to Dre Sims. He answered my question about the onboarding new people for the bridge and getting gas. There is BridgeBot, which gives a free 1,000 pulse to new wallets that are using the bridge. I just went and checked out the website. It says it specifically looks for people that have less than like 10,000 native pulse when they first transition over. So this is an option to help give people that gas fee, that just enough of a little like push over that hill to start transacting. And there's 22 million pulse in the donation address. So if you want to help out the community a little bit, you could send some pulse over that way, and it'll get distributed to new people as they come on.
Look at Dre coming in with the alpha. I see you, Dre.
Thank you, Dre. We appreciate that.
Yeah, they've been ruthless to you, Josh. Holy crap.
Yeah, I need Bradley to hop on to help me clap back a little bit here, because I am getting demolished tonight.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a hell of a thing, man. Alrighty. Well, yeah, so
double check with Will. Did you find what you were looking for?
For Hex Scout?
Yep.
Yes, I pasted it in the chat. Mrs. Producer, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and I will paste it again right now, so that way it's nice.
The other thing I was thinking about too is like, Will, you're really doing a good thing trying to help Hexicans meet up and all that. And the thing that I was kind of thinking about was with all these like little meetups and like kind of like perhaps little parties or whatever it is that we Hexicans can do, right? The people around us are going to start getting curious, like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, why are you here doing this or that, right? That was kind of my idea, quite frankly.
The
throwing parties?
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. Man, I love ideas, because I don't have a whole lot of ideas. I'm not incredibly I'm not the most creative person in the world, but I don't mind like going out and like doing things. I love taking other people's ideas and then just doing them, because it's like, it's so like I hope people don't get offended when I do that, because it's like, I'm not looking to offend people, but I am looking to like, make the world a better place. And if someone has a great idea, then it's like, hell yeah, I would love to do that thing. And I apologize if I forget to give people credit for things that are fairly theirs, but it's like, I like to joke that I'm all RAM no hard drive up here. That's why I'm always making Excel spreadsheets, just forgetting everything. So yeah, thank you for that idea, Nate. That's fucking kick ass, bro. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a really fun time, right?
Yeah.
You can meet up with other Hexicans, set things up, be like, hey, let's go have a party, or just go have a fun night at the bar or something like that.
Damn right. Yeah, there needs to be low level stuff in addition to the high level stuff. Like the high level stuff is great. The stuff that costs like $400 a ticket, it's fantastic, and it's money well spent if you got that sort of cash lying around. Like just the opportunity to meet new people. I don't think that you can put like price tags on like meeting awesome new people in the world personally, but like man, just going out there, like not everyone's able to do that, and so. So if you guys are interested, I'm gonna show my Telegram here a little bit. It's right down here below my name, t.me/hex_meetup, and I'll go ahead and post that in the chat as well. But it's essentially just a Telegram group for it. I mean, I specifically made it for Hexicans, but you know what? Anyone can fucking use it. If you're a person who likes to meet other people and like you have some sort of vague like crypto interest or whatever the heck, you don't have to be a Hexican to meet other Hexicans. Like it's kind of nice. Like if I'm a sports ball fan and I want to talk sports ball to other sports ball people, then I say like, hey, I'm down to meet other cool sports ball people. Then it's like there is a goal there, but like, you know, there's lots of cool people in the world that are like, oh well, I kind of know something about sports ball, or I want to know sports ball, but I'm not there yet, or like, you know, maybe I hate sports ball, but I like meeting cool people, and lots of cool people I know like sports ball. So whatever, it's just a common theme. You don't have to be a Hexican to join my my little meetup Telegram thing. You just have to be a person who's cool and is willing to meet other cool people that exist anywhere in the world. So anyways, when you guys, if you guys choose to join this Telegram, and I highly recommend you do, there will be a little there. Once you click the tab, it'll take you to, like, I think it'll probably put you in the general chat room, but there's a whole bunch of different chat rooms in there. There's ones for Texas, there's ones for Arkansas, there's ones for Victoria, Australia, there's ones for the UK, there's ones all over the place. I made some special ones though that I pinned at the top. There's a little start here tab. What you do is you start there. You read through all the little my thoughts and feelings on how to best use this Telegram. If you guys have better thoughts and feelings, definitely like hit me up and tell me where I'm fucking up or what I should do better or whatever. But like, oh shit, aloha, Ramon. I have met Ramon Carrillo in real life. He's a cool fucking dude. And you know, like there's lots of cool Hexicans. So yeah. So anyways, hop in the Telegram, meet up with other cool people that are in the crypto sphere, and you know, go grab beers or drink coffees or throw axes, or I don't know, learn how to day trade, or I don't know, sell camels if you're a Persian camel trader or something like that.
Yeah, not only that, but also like talk to people around you too, because I mean, clearly you're in this for a reason, right? And there's a lot of lot of good things you can say about it, and a lot of people are going to be curious, like, oh, what is the whole crypto thing is popping up again? What is it that you guys are celebrating, right? Celebrating these big green candles.
Speaking of meeting cool people, there is one very cool person in our chat that I hope everyone already knows or is about to meet, and that is Mr. Angry Twinkie. We just wanted to give him a quick shout out and congratulations on his first stream today. He's got a YouTube channel. We were going to post it in our comments section below. I believe I have handed Mrs. Producer the link to that previously. But yeah, Mr. Angry Twinkie is a good friend of ours, part of the Telegram as well, and he has launched his channel. We just wanted to give him big congratulations and tell everybody, go follow him over there, get him a subscription, and then keep an eye out because the guy drops a lot of alpha. I want to say it was the Christmas or holiday special stream that we had, and we had 10 to 15 minute segments for everybody. Twinkie came on and just dropped an absolute boatloads worth of alpha for that segment, and it was fantastic. So if you like that stuff, you're going to like this guy. Go check him out.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I popped in for a little while. He's a smart guy. He's really got the he's on the other side of the bell curve.
Yeah, he's right side bell curve gang.
It's funny because when he dropped the alpha on that stream, he like mic dropped and just bounced.
Oh yeah, and none of us were ready for him to just come on and just blast us with all that good stuff.
Yeah, we were like, all right, what do we do now?
I'm gonna have to catch that on the replay, and you know, maybe go to college or something before I do that, so that way I could understand what he's saying, or I don't know. But yeah, he's a smart fucking cookie. I'll tell you that much. I like being around smart people.
Alrighty. So another thing I wanted to talk about today was meme culture, right? Mm-hmm. So the way that this has kind of gone is it started off with just like the Hexicans, right? And then Pulsechain came out. Now you've got like Pulsicans, Pulsexicans, right? And then the Hexicans. And kind of like off of that, now we're getting like these little subcategories or sub-communities, right? Of people, you know, like Tang Gang and Atropa, P-Dye, you know, teddy bear type stuff. And personally, I think that this is a sign of an extremely healthy ecosystem. It's something that I believe we absolutely need, right? Because it draws people in, you know, especially like Tang Gang. They are definitely, they are quite loud, you know, and that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. It draws eyes, right? Brings people in. Which, by the way, where are those oranges? I'm not seeing any oranges in there, guys. If you're in here, grab your people and start throwing some oranges in. Come on, guys.
I own exactly one HOA, and at some point I'm going to own more than that. But I bought one.
You only have one?
Yes.
That's
I bought one of them so that way I could be a Tang Gang guy. I guess it's crypto confessions time. I had HOA a long time ago when it was much cheaper, and then the price went up, and I didn't know a damn thing about the community or a damn thing about anything. I was just like, oh, price goes up, this is a meme coin, I'm taking profit. And so like I sold it on a 3x or something, and I greatly regret that because it would have been a fantastic position to own now. So, you know, I did not diamond hands my silly meme coin that I thought was a silly meme coin. So that one's all gone. But I have one HOA now, and I might buy some more later. Who knows? But I am greatly fond of the Tang Gang community. Those guys are some raucous members. I will tell you that much.
I'm pretty sure like they're the ones responsible, maybe not solely, but like the majority of it. The reason that the Pulsechain Crow is like doing so well, I think they're the ones like buying it up and boosting the price, which is great for adoption and networking, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a
They're doing
tendency
very
to
well.
really go out there and just go absolutely wild, you know. One of the things that I notice these people they do is that they'll go to other streams, right? And then just start dropping a bunch of oranges in the chat. People are like, what is this? Absolutely find it hilarious. The other one too that I was kind of interested in hearing your guys' thoughts on is PDI. It's like it's promising to be a stable coin and peg, but it's not really a stable coin right now. It's very interesting, isn't it?
It's
So
it's
for
a whole bunch
for
of
reference,
campfire
can we
stories.
for
Go
reference,
ahead.
let's start off this conversation and break down for the folks at home what we're talking about. So PDI is the fork of DAI on Ethereum, which is a stable coin. However, if you go look at PDI on Pulsechain, it is not worth one. It is not worth one. It is not a 1-to-1 perfect thing. It is actively moving. Theoretically, if enough people buy it, it could go up so fast and so hard that it hits that 1.0 marker and will stay there and get pegged. It's possible. I'm not saying it's probable, but it's possible.
Yeah, I don't, me personally, not financial advice. I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of shit. I don't think it will. I'm not saying I don't think it'll go to $1. It very well could. I mean, I'm not betting on it, but yes, I guess it could go to $1. But I have a feeling once it got to $1, what is it at like now? A penny? I feel like everybody would fucking sell it like bad. And I don't even know how much liquidity is in it. So who knows? If it doesn't have a lot of liquidity, then I guess you could say that $1. But then again, do you really want to use a stable coin that doesn't have a lot of liquidity? So I don't know. Maybe I haven't really looked too much into it, but I don't know. Any of y'all have any info on it?
It is certainly an interesting meme coin. I will tell you that. Just like the fact that it's a copy of like a free copy of something that's $1 somewhere else. That's $1 somewhere else because of a whole bunch of reasons. Like it's backed partially by Bitcoin. It's backed partially by USDC. It's backed partially by some other things. I don't really know entirely how DAI works. I know that it's a semi-pseudo decentralized stablecoin. It's not like Coast where there's a one-to-one backing for it, or Loan where it's an algorithmically based backing, or not, excuse me, not Loan, USDL, or like there's a whole bunch of things that make or Tether where it's backed by basically the FBI or the CIA or something like that. I don't know a whole lot about. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about stablecoins, but I do know that the Pulsechain copy of DAI is basically just a copy of something else that, like, you know, it's like if I don't know, if I put a dollar bill on a printer or like a coffee machine and I copied it and then I cut it out and it's like, haha, I have $1 now. You know, it's like it's only good if other people take it. So I don't know who is like there's so many people that are having fun with the PDI coin that it now has value. And you know, you can say the same thing about our fucking DGen Roundtable coin, right? It's like we created it for demonstrational purposes, and then someone went out and bought a fuck ton of it, and is just like, you know, and that caused the price to go up a crazy amount. And so like there's a whole bunch of things that happen to like random ass coins or random ass thing, you know, like football teams, right? Like you can compare the Ravens team against like a high school football team, and it's like the amount of value and attention that people will give a high school football team is the equivalent of like what the value is of that, you know, sports ball team versus like the professional one where they go to the NFL or they go to the Super Bowl or whatever the heck place that people go and play their sports ball games, right? Like there's a lot more value there because there's a lot of people that are paying tickets to watch this thing. So it's like the value that something gets is just like the amount of people that like know about it, that interact with it, and that do things with it, you know? So that's my 2 cents on.
Will, to cover our own asses here real quick, I think we do need to let the people know that DRT token has no value and is bought purely for memes, fun, and proof of concept.
The DRT
100%.
token has
Okay.
the exact amount of value that people decide that it has by buying and selling it.
Correct.
It is only loosely related to our channel because it has the same name and because the coin was made for
Literally on
demonstration
stream.
purposes. Yeah, while we were streaming by our good friend Crypto Sloth. Shout out to Crypto Sloth. Go subscribe to his channel and watch his videos. Makes very great educational content. But like the
Oh, Niles,
one can hope. Okay, so actually, Niles, if you go to Dex,
Ooh, Will, your mic is just like super.
oh shit, hang on.
Will, can you just like
broken.
pull the mic away from your mouth a little bit further?
Yeah, we'll do that. How's that?
It's
Yeah, I think
less
you have it,
peaky,
like, turned way
but then
up.
just on the StreamYard side of things, just see if you can.
Okay, somebody talk.
Better.
Yeah.
You are much better.
To be fair though, so the thing that I was looking at with this whole PDI thing that is interesting is they made a tropa, which basically, as far as I understood it, has like a bot that continually tries to peg PDI. And it's like, are you like at this point we've got a community of people who legitimately want to try and peg this thing, and they want to peg it hard.
Somebody clip that, please.
I think that's a good clip. I think what, and I'm could be wrong here. I think what gives DAI its value, besides people using it, I think DAI is backed by Ethereum. I don't know for sure, but I think it is. I think one of your big problems that's going to be with PDI is that it's backed by. I'm not going to say nothing. That's not the right term, but I don't know. I have a hard time seeing that it can stay pegged at $1. I don't know if it'll ever be used as a legitimate stable coin. I mean, if it does, that'd be great. But I mean, why not just use Ethereum DAI? But I guess just as an investment, I guess you can get in early and you can make money off of it. But then once it gets to a point to where it's $1, why would I use it? I'll use Ethereum DAI. I guess it's good for the ecosystem.
You're not wrong. Having more liquidity and volume is good for the ecosystem because it is creating transactions, liquidity pools, and possibly rewarding people or helping Pulsechain with buy and burn. However, at the same time, your larger point is absolutely correct, which is we already have true stablecoins. Just use the true stablecoins. Granted, there are a few new stablecoins that get launched, like USDL, which is backed, as Dre says. He says that Liquid Loans USDL is kept to its peg by Pulse Vaults versus, I did a quick Google search, and something like DAI. DAI is a US dollar pegged over collateralized stablecoin governed by the MakerDAO decentralized organization. It is the largest decentralized stablecoin with market capitalization of $4.6 billion per CoinGecko, and it is backed by Ethereum, stablecoins, and other real-world assets. So you have something like that with all the real-world assets in Ethereum, or you have the will of the community buoying PDI up to $1. It's like, yes, one of them is something that we can try to shoot for as a community and try to do together, but the other is the tried and true product that you're using for its intended purpose.
Absolutely. Like, so not financial advice, but let's say PDI was worth a penny and I put money into it and it got to $1. I would immediately sell all my PDI for Ethereum DAI. Personally, and that's why it will not stay stable at $1. Or there could be some other way, like you said, a Tropa. It's got the buying mechanism to try to peg it, and maybe it does work. I don't know enough about it, but that's what I would do. And I know you have a lot of PDI enthusiasts, so I might be pissing some people off, and I would love to learn more about it. So like hop in our Telegram and kind of tell us about it so I can be educated, because I'd like to know more on it. But as of right now, yeah, if I made money off of PDI, I'm going to throw it into the real thing.
Nate, it sounds like you're closer to the source on this one, but from all the information and research that I've gathered about people talking about PDI is that everyone understands what's going on here, which is that this is what was effectively a useless coin that got copied on the launch of Pulsechain because of the fork. And then everyone's like, wouldn't it be funny if we got this thing to a place? It's like, yes, we all understand that we are kind of like manipulating this thing to achieve just a funny result. And at the same time, no one actually believes that this is the correct intended use for PDI. Am I
Well,
wrong
see,
here?
you hit the hammer on the nail right there, or the nail on the head. Because quite frankly, that's exactly what it is. It's fun.
Okay.
That's the entire
It is
point.
fun.
Right?
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Exactly. So one of the scratches I have taken is on PDI, and it's simply because of these reasons, right? But here's the thing about the communities, right? So these sub communities are popping in, and it's like a bunch of people gathering together saying, "Hey, I want to peg this thing," and and they want the PDI to end up at $1. It's a legit challenge, you know. And
can we pull up Alan's comment here as well, real quick? I think while we're talking about PDI, we should probably hit this as well, which is that this is possibly the downside to something like this, which is that during the launch of Pulsechain, a lot of people didn't know which way was up, and they might have accidentally swapped into tokens that were not real Pulsechain assets, and instead something like maybe PDI, not the EDI version they were looking for. So theoretically, you could have swapped an entire bag into something that was useless on launch. And because it was so new and no one knew what was going on, it's very feasible for these things to happen. Granted, as time moves on, people are more educated and we can help provide more guidance. However, at the same time, stuff like this can't happen.
This is what happens when you screw around.
Oof.
Yeah, Josh is entirely around. This is fuck around and find out.
This is what happens when you screw around. I mean, you know, if you're new in this game, you know, you really, I don't know. Like, I don't even get into this stuff. And it's hard for like somebody like me and, you know, like, yeah, you know, the group that we have is awesome, but just the diverse opinions and stuff like that, like the stuff that you guys are talking about right now, it's like it's making my toes cringe underneath my desk right now. I'm just like, geez, like PDI, like, you know, it's just
Teddy bear.
I can't even fathom it. I can't even fathom it.
Josh, you're entirely correct. There is a reason that this whole segment is going to be branded as the meme coin segment or scratcher bets. And the core of what we talk about here on this channel is making solid plays for long-term investment and understanding your risk and also managing your risk. And then a lot of us are also of the mindset, which is that all the money we throw into crypto is money that is effectively gone. If we make returns on it, cool. However, at the same time, it is not rent. It is not your car payment. It is not insurance. It is none of that.
Well, what's also interesting is, you know, think back in past cycles. Like, we wouldn't have even been talking about meme coins or super degen alt plays this early into a cycle. You know what I'm saying? And we're to a point now to where this conversation is happening even before the halvening, you know, and I could understand if we were in the middle of a Bitcoin parabolic move and having already it happened and everything's in euphoria phase and, you know, you just rub two sticks together and you're making money. You know what I'm saying? But like, we are not there yet. Like, people are still negative in their portfolios. And it's just, you know, it's interesting that we're having this conversation now in the market versus, you know, back in the past and history and stuff like that. But, you know, make sure everybody just, I'm going to be that person on the panel tonight that's like, listen, this is definitely financial entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, sit back, relax, joke around, have fun, but make sure you guys understand the moves that you guys are doing 100%, because
absolutely, just
you don't want to be that person that fucks around and loses a bag because you heard something on a channel or something like that.
To expand on your point, Josh, this conversation started happening 17 minutes after the bridge on Pulsechain went live, which was, there is nothing to do now. All of the projects have launched. And unfortunately, we have this Pandora's box that we can open, which is Pulsechain has super cheap gas fees. It's super accessible, and anybody can make any token and do whatever they want with it. And unfortunately, a lot of people got bored and started looking for shiny new things. Granted, sometimes there may have been some legitimate and good projects out there. We're going to look at like Liquid Loans and Power City and I guess Mintra if you're an NFT person. Like, there are real projects, but at the same time, you got to fight that urge in yourself to get bored and go look for shiny new objects. Understand what's good and true and valuable and what's not.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So here's the main, like, here's how you should be thinking, right? You've got your main core, you know, good project type of coins, right? And you hold on to those and you use the good projects and you just kind of stick around there. However, there's a lot of people who really want to gamble, right? Because this is a casino. Absolutely. But able to sort of scratch that itch, right? you take maybe about 10% of the entirety of your portfolio, right? Just like 10%, a small amount, and then you just kind of mess around with it. And here's the thing too, there's a lot of people who will who will get into these coins like the second they launch, right? And it's just you go looking for new pairs, right? And then you get into them right away. Now that is truly degen. The ones that I like to go for is I like to call them like scratcher bets, right? Throw like $100 scratcher bet in or whatever. And what you want to do is you want to look for some kind of backing as far as like community goes, right? So like when we're sitting here talking about PDI, it's like, okay, well, you have a community that literally created this whole thing called a Tropa to try and get it to $1, right? Now there's an entire community or a sub community that is taking on that challenge. That's what their whole thing is. So you know that it's not going to be just like a complete rug pull, you know, pump and dump rug pull, right? Because these people legitimately want to hit that challenge. It's a lot of fun. It's something for people to do. And again, kind of how this whole thing started, I think it's really healthy for an ecosystem to have this happen, because what that's doing is that's a lot of people who are trying to do something, right? They're challenging themselves. They're trying to get other people in to be like, hey, let's do this challenge together, right? And you got to respect that. And it breathes life into the actual ecosystem itself. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I want to talk about challenges with starting coins up and bring up an old comment that Mr. Niles had made. When we started the like on stream when Sloth was creating the DRT token, he paired 69 million DRT, I believe, with 1,000 pulse. And since that time, I was looking on Deck Screener a little bit ago, and this was a couple days. I have no idea what the chart looks like right now, but after that crazy candle wick while Jay was doing TA on it a while back, DRT was well over 1,000,000% increase, which means that DRT has done a 10,000x from its launch. So congratulations, boys and girls, whoever bought DRT in the very beginning and never sold. You're up 10,000x on whatever pennies you threw into it or something like that. So
That's
something
actually funny.
something that I wanted to highlight.
No.
DRT is fun.
I bought some. There's not enough liquidity, so I didn't make any money.
Oh man, yeah. So there is very low liquidity in the DRT coin, and you know that's if there's people that want to provide liquidity, then that's what they will do. If there's people that want to sell it and rug pull it, that's what they're do. Yeah, $150 in liquidity right now. I don't know what the current price is. I compare it against. I used to have it up in compared against dollars, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start looking at this silly little coin compared against Pulsechain. And let's see, where are we at right now with DRT? Oh, we're below parity. We're at like it's about 1/3. So you'll get 3 DRT coins for every 1 pulse that you put in. So we are no longer at 10,000x. Wow, that's a massive red candle. That's beautiful. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. Good
really was
opportunity
awesome
to
learning
buy if you guys want to buy.
It really was an awesome learning experiment. I think the reason, Will, the price was able to pump like that is because I've read and heard before people saying, you know, lower liquidity. If you get a big buy, the price could skyrocket much further up. And I think that's what happened. It was definitely interesting and fun.
Yeah, and a way to look at this too is, and this is something that people get confused at. I've noticed a lot.
Oh shit! Somebody just bought 6969 DRT. Hell yeah!
They're going for that.
Ending in FA96. They're going for that. Ooh, I don't mean to cut you off, Jeff. Go ahead and finish your thought. Then I got something.
So here's something that people think about oftentimes. That was me, by the way. That people think about though, or sorry, they don't think about. So if we have $150 in liquidity, right? And you know, I bought 1 million of the token right away and actually sent it over my vault because I find it funny. But if I were to like try and sell that after a 10,000x, I can technically speaking only pull out a maximum of about $150 because that's all the money that's in there. So even if I were to like say, hey, I'm going to sell this right now, wow, it should be worth like $1 million, right? There is literally only $150 that I could pull out of there. And that's something that people don't really think about when they're messing around with meme coins. You know, you see these huge green candles and you think, wow, I just made $1 million off of my $100, right? And it's like, well, no, because there's only $150 in there. That's literally the maximum you can actually pull out right there. So people don't really think about that. Just a little warning for everyone.
I got a question for the panel. If I could ask a question. So if we know that 95% of the coins that are created in any cycle are going to turn out to be absolute dog shit, and the vast majority of those are going to be meme coins, then isn't it playing around in a landmine if you want to put in any sort of effort into the meme coin world? Isn't that really playing around in landmines?
That's crypto's all right. So you have like, if you want to talk about like risky assets, like from like non-risky to risky, you have like real estate, gold, then like stock, well, like, you know, CDs and like index funds and shit, and then like stocks and stuff like that. Then you hit crypto, much riskier. And then you hit meme coins, much riskier. Then you hit meme coins on brand new layer ones. It's like fucking like, yeah, about as risky as you can get.
So if our goal is to try to you know, share wisdom, share knowledge, help folks in their cycle and all that stuff, if that's what our goal is, then why would we attempt to even, I guess, have sort of a meme coin subculture going on?
Well, see, here's the thing. People are going to do it anyways. And so if you know how to avoid those landmines, right, we're going to want to try and teach people how to avoid them. So, and kind of like with the whole thing that I just got done talking about with our DRT token, it may, you know, I may have 10,000 X'd my the tokens that I have bought, but I can only pull out at maximum $150 right now. People don't really understand that. And so a lot of times if they get into one of these coins, right, they're thinking, oh, green candle go up. That's amazing. I wish I could get into that. And then they see the green candle and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to go looking around for another green candle. It's like, well, look at the liquidity, guys. Like, look at the amount of money you technically would be able to pull out anyways. And usually when you have that in your head and you're looking around at these meme coins, you're like, I could only pull out like a maximum of $1,000, right? So if you are going to play the game, which a lot of people want to anyways, you need to at least know what you're doing and what to avoid, you know? And that's why I think this type of education is actually more vital for people to understand and know, and for us to talk about, because 100%. There's going to be a lot of people who get wrecked anyways.
Dave,
so at the very least, teach them how to not get wrecked.
You, like literally when you said like this is going to happen in any community, it's going to happen. And like you said, honestly, it might not be the smart thing to invest in, but it's healthy for a community. You want to see people creating this type of shit just because you know it's more activity, but also like the best thing to do is to educate yourself on it. Like literally before you said those things, I was just waiting to talk, and you crushed it.
I think Josh has a good question here though, which is why does the meme coin subculture exist? And you can look on Dexter or anything. You can, it is fun. However, ask yourself, like, why would you want to start a meme coin? And the answer comes down to two things for me. One of which is you have a little extra money, or maybe like some casino chips effectively from like the last bull market. And you're like, I would just want to make a joke and share it around with friends, and then have a little, like, I don't know. It's something to mention at like the cocktail party and be like, haha, I am the founder of 5 meme coins. They're so-and-so. And then the other is honestly the more, I guess, doomer take on it, which is that you are explicitly trying to make scams and quick money because you have seen it in the markets before, which is that Bitcoin is going to be the coin that gives the least returns, like second only to stable coins because they don't go anywhere. And then after that, everything else has increasing gains based on the volatility and the risk and the decreasing amount of liquidity inside of them, which means that all the massive like 10,000x and plus stuff is either Hex or it's a meme coin that gets picked up by the news like Doge because Elon Musk tweeted about it. And then everyone thought that they could have their chance on the money by trying to catch that wick going to the top. So sure, could it be for nefarious reasons? Absolutely. Could it also just be for the memes and the jokes? Also, absolutely. But at the same time, I think it's an example that has unfortunately been kind of portrayed to the world at large to discredit crypto to a little bit, which is like, everyone wants those kinds of gains for their project, but the only ones that really get those kind of gains, they might not even be real. Because like Nate's saying, if there's only $150 in that pool, you're only getting $150 out. But
exactly. Yeah. And see, like take an example from the Tang gang, right? They literally created that the HOA, the Hex Orange address, literally as a joke. And they created a little group out of it, right? And the group is a lot of fun. You know, I'm in their Telegram, and they're joking around all day long. You know, it's kind of like a little family, little community, right? And they just love doing things like that. And they ended up creating a meme coin off of that, and people love the meme coin. And yeah, they can just run around and start saying, "Hey, look at us, look at us, look at us." And then, by the way, we're also on Pulsechain. That's our whole thing. We're hexagons, pulsecans, but we're also oranges, you know. But that's the reason why you want those communities. You know, the Atropa people, they've got a challenge. They are trying to get PDI to $1. That's their challenge. And so the motivations of these subgroups, you know, is to come together and to do something together. And that's why when I say we need these in Pulsechain, is because it gives life, right?
it does. However, at the same time, understand that there are truly nefarious actors out there, and there are people that are purely trying to turn a profit with it. I have seen some of the most degenerate and the strangest things in Telegram chats where I saw this coin on Deck Screener when I was just pulling up the search function, and I thought to myself, what in the actual F is that? And I clicked on it, I went to the Telegram group, and it is the craziest, weirdest stuff. I don't even want to name one of them, but it was something about mommy milkers. And everyone was just posting like lewd, crazy memes. And then allegedly there was some girl on the dev team, and she said, if you degens get it to this point on the chart, I will show you like her boobs. It's like,
that's fucking hilarious.
That's good game theory, to tell you the truth.
See, as somebody who assigns value to every single dollar I own, I have a hard time even understanding how somebody would find that valuable.
It's just
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man. I don't, I don't know. I don't understand.
You don't get bored so easily.
I don't understand it at all.
That's what Nate. That's Nate. You killed it. I don't even think they buy it for value. I think to them they're buying entertainment.
Yeah,
they're spending their money to go to a movie theater or go to a casino. I think it's
go to a football game, right?
I think it's
you're entirely correct. However, I think there's the mentality that Josh is trying to talk about here, which is that we are trying to use as much of our left side of the bell curve brain power as possible to make good investment and good decisions. Inside of that same ecosphere is a group of idiots trying to push a coin to a certain point to see boobs.
I think Zenith, you're a great translator, buddy. Thank you.
This sounds like the real world. People do a lot of crazy things to see boobs.
Yep.
For sure, but at the same time, like, we're coming out here and like I'm like, this is something that I've tried to put on with my own personal brand, which is like, I understand that I come from a world where people put on the suit and tie and they want to make good financial decisions, and they don't want to be part of all the degeneracy or all the idiocy, and they just want to understand what is like the correct stuff and where the traps are so they can avoid it. However, at the same time, once you've been in this space long enough, and yeah, I'm guilty of it too, now you start finding some entertainment in this stuff, and you're like, well, I already got a few chips in this place anyways, might as well throw them at it. Mm-hmm. So it's competing interests, which is, we want to get people in here who are legitimately interested in bettering themselves, bettering their wealth, and possibly building a nest egg for the future, or maybe their children or grandchildren. And then at the same time, we're also trying to have the meme wars of whose dog coin is going to be the best this cycle. And it's competing interests that honestly scares away a lot of folks.
Yeah, I mean, freaking, you can't guess this stuff either. You know, I mean, we had Dog with a Hat do like a 17,000 X. What's the point of the coin? There is no point. It's literally just a dog with a hat. It's a picture.
Correct. And honestly, that coin that you're specifically talking about is the exact reason why Solana had all those meme coins start taking off. It's because somebody saw that one person managed to make a meme coin go up on Solana. So a bunch of other people saw it and said, oh, there might actually be room on this place for this. Let's see if we can replicate it, and I can try to get my bag as well.
Yeah, and as much as like Niall said it perfect here. I'm here for the tech, bro. I mean, we can
We're in it
we,
for the
we
touch.
want to sit here and say, yeah, no, it does this, it does that, blah blah blah. But in truth, maybe we're just here for the money.
And I do have a comment for you, Nate, on the statement and the thought that you proposed about the different groups that are coming up within the Richard Hart ecosystem. And for the most part, it is awesome to see, because within every state there are counties, and with every county there, we got communities popping up, and in every community there are different streets and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, finding a little bit of commonality, breaking the groups down to a more personable level, I think it's awesome. My only concern is when the groups sort of look inward and turn on each other, or have infighting or something like that. When you get into a situation like that, that's when it's just nasty. So I do like the idea. We are a subsect, you know what I'm saying? The DGen Roundtable. If you call yourself a DGen and all this stuff, we are a subsect of that. And what we're building here, I think it's awesome. But like I said, my only concern is if there's infighting or something that draws the attention away from what we're trying to achieve, which is bringing as many people in, increasing adoption as much as possible, and helping everybody get to the finish line together. So as long as the goal stays that, and all the groups continue to strive towards that, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's absolutely beautiful.
And the one thing about so first off, how was New York City built, right? It probably started with just a couple of buildings or maybe like a small settlement, right? And now it's New York City. So I think that's kind of what's happening here with Hexaco. We basically had this one coin, this one CD. There we go. And then the community started growing from there. Now we've become Hexicans, Pulsexicans, right? And we're growing from there. And now we've got like Tang Gang, a trope of people, and DGen Roundtable, right? We're growing again, right? And so when you're actually looking at all this, I'm seeing that we're basically building a large. Right now, we're building a large city, so to say. If you were to use the whole crypto space as like a real world, and I agree with you. I agree with you on the possibility of like infighting and all that. I do think that the core of Hexicans is very good. It's definitely cult-like for sure, but there's also kind of learned to have a little bit of a mutual respect for somebody who is, hey, you're still a Hexican with me, and I think as long as we hold that core, there may be some, spats here and there, and everybody get the popcorn out. But I do believe in overall, it's not going to split us like it did with Bitcoin back in the day.
Fair. To me, Pulsechain is a community, as in the same way you have a community in real life. You have what is that community made out of? People, and you're gonna have people with different goals, different objectives, different thoughts of mind. So it's not. I'm not going to say it's good to have shit meme coins and people that are trying to scam and stuff like that. But it does show you that an ecosystem is forming. But because that's a natural progression, you're going to have all different types of aspects. So I mean, like I said, it's not good. It's definitely never a good thing. But you're going to have that in a community that's thriving. People are going to come to that community to try to take advantage of some people. They're not going to go to some shit community that doesn't have anybody there. You know what I'm saying? So it shows that a type of economic system or ecosystem is developing. So in hindsight, or in the future, when you're looking at it, it shows, progress, that something is being built. Or to me, it does.
So if anybody has seen the effing Hangout, there's a guy on there. His name's Tim. He is part of the Libertarian Party and helps organize some events for him. One of the jokes I like making with him is he talks about it's super hard to organize anything with libertarians, and I say, yeah, it's hard to get them to agree on anything, like even a place to go out for dinner. And that's just because everyone is atomistically. Everyone is their own individual person, and they enjoy acting as such. Therefore, trying to get a community out of that is hard, because a community, similar to like an economy, you might think it is this thing that is a physical representation or something that you can actually like identify and like draw a box around, but it's really just the effects of people getting together and doing things with other people. The community is the same way. You can try to exploit a community, but what you're really doing is you're just targeting a certain specific group of people. Similar to the libertarians, crypto is very individualized as well. And without like defined leaders or metrics or boxes to draw people around, sometimes it's hard to get everyone on the same page and in the same direction. You have a lot of diversity. However, you don't have always that common goal. And that's where you find that difficulty. And Josh was talking earlier about where the infighting happens is where we start trying to pull what we believe is the community in different directions, which is you are trying to take the community somewhere that other people are not. You might be trying to take them towards more suit and tie related activities and try to present that professional front, or you might want to create a casino online for all the meme coins. Who knows? However, at the same time, you got to understand that no one owns this one thing. So we got to find our place within it. And yeah, sure, we are a sub community. Absolutely. And the whole community is just going to be the collection of sub communities. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just find your niche, try to identify how you can organize your niche of people, and then just get that going in the same direction. And eventually, maybe we'll all get all the communities aligned together.
Well said. And that's what's awesome about our group is you have people that are super pro meme coins, and then you have people that are super anti meme coins all on one channel. And we can sit here and talk about it. So that's what makes it awesome.
Yeah, that's what makes us special is that we do have all the differing, it would be really boring too if like all of us agreed on the exact same thing and we were just always talking about the exact same stuff and we're just like, yeah, I agree with that. It's like,
yeah,
nah,
then it would be an echo chamber. Nobody wants an echo chamber. You know what I'm saying? The best sort of debates are debates that are held respectfully, but each person is able to get their point across. Yeah. And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? It's family. It's being able to sit across from somebody, have a honest discussion, and understand that there's no ill will, there's not going to be any private attacks or anything like that. It's just, I have my opinion, you have your opinion. And if we disagree, man, we're going to disagree. It's not a big deal. We're still going to help each other get to the end game. So, because like I said, at the end of this cycle, man, when I do my DCA strategy, Nate, I'm probably going to do a consultation with you and be like, hey, bro, can you remind me of this? Because I know you were fucking around with it yesterday. So,
all right, we're marking Josh in the calendar for March of 2025. How to use Pulsex.
Oh my God. I love it. But yeah, you're correct, Josh. It's all about respect, right? And here's the thing. So you don't get anywhere if you don't ideas are never going to be forged unless you put them through the crucible of debate, right? That's where ideas can be forged into the absolute best possible. And quite frankly, you're like complete anti meme coin, right? And I'm not anti meme coin, but I definitely don't like messing around like say Willie, right, with these brand new launches and stuff. I'm like, yeah, no, thanks. I want something a little more tangible, right? So, yeah, when we sit here and we kind of go back and forth, what we're able to do is we're able to let everybody else out there, right, who's listening to us, form their own ideas and be able to make that decision for themselves, an informed decision. And that's what's truly important. And by talking about all this, we're going to be saving a lot of people, I think, from some really bad choices.
Somebody that's, I think, quickly becoming one of our rich dads, so to speak, is RG3. And one of the lessons that I've picked up from him is that, if there's a project that you genuinely think is not good for the ecosystem or is actively detrimental, if you don't even want to give it breath of life to begin with, just don't even say their names or let their name touch your lips. However, at the same time, the other half of this coin is that for the projects that you're ambiguous on or that you like, you should probably go support them or at the least not try to harm them, because more projects is only a good thing. Building a project is hard. Building a good project is damn hard. So try to support the people that you can and help the entire ecosystem grow as a whole. Because guess what? Hart's Law applies. All the liquidity is attached together, and the more projects that more people like means more people in. So Metcalfe's Law also applies here, which means we're only going up together. A rising tide raises all ships.
Exactly, Zenith. Yeah, and you're right. I mean, this is the reason why we've been screaming liquid loans to the high heavens, right? It is a very good project. I mean, just ask Dre. Dre is like, what did he call himself? A liquid loans maxi now? Yeah, he's loving it. And I mean, I made a lot off that, and it's because we researched deep into it. We tried to help out as many people as possible, and with all the research that we were doing, we helped out a lot of people make a lot of money on it as well. And so we knew it was a good quality project, hence why we researched so deep into it. Now the same thing is happening with Power City and Earn Protocol and all that as well. So yeah, we're gonna any good project, we're just gonna scream to the high heavens, quite frankly.
Yeah, Josh and I were on the Hangout 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it was, and we were talking about liquid loans on there with other Hexicans and some Hexicans who have been in this space much longer than we have. Half of those guys were kind of split on, yeah, sure, this is a fine project. They might not even be interested. And then the other half were just kind of negative on it. However, at the same time, they did recognize there are people using this. It is in our ecosystem. And overall, it appears to be a good thing for everybody. Even if they're not involved or don't even like it themselves, they still see the benefits. And we like the liquid loan guys. Shout out to Walrus and the entire team.
It locks up
for sure. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't screw around in liquid loans. I don't have the first thing to do with it. But what I think is awesome is that we do have Walrus's presence in the community, and he makes himself available. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at that stuff. That sort of thing is extremely important. You want to make sure that if you have questions, that there is a responsive team there and all that different sorts of stuff. So, while personally I might not be behind, I might not play around, dabble in it. I mean, if you guys have been watching this channel since our foundation, I've said it plenty of times. I have a very strict investment portfolio that I stick with because I only have so much brain power, and I'm not going to allocate extra brain power to something that I can't put full energy into. And, so I have my portfolio set, and I'm just going to continue to grow my specific portfolio. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to give props and help celebrate the projects that have become familiar to us, and the folks that have sacrificed their own time to come on our show and stuff like that. Like, that's phenomenal. And I'm always going to help celebrate that, regardless if it's in my portfolio or not.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that, I mean, Walrus, Sloth, a lot of these other guys, they recognize that we are level-headed and that we're trying to do the best that we can by talking amongst ourselves. Hey, how can we win at this crypto game, right? And the information that they recognize that the information that we put out is trying to help other people do the same thing. And I give a lot of respect to those guys because they truly do see it. They're doing it themselves. And yeah, I just hats off to them. Shout out to them.
Yeah, we also got a comment from Brendan here tonight, who's not on the panel, but still in the comment section. He says, while I like liquid loans, I understand some people aren't going to like it because it's leverage. Richard Hart talks against that a lot. Yeah, for sure. You might not like it. However, at the same time, the question that I always come back to, especially with liquid loans team, is like, did they make a product? Do you like it? Doesn't really matter. Does it work? Yes. Did they rug pull anybody? Nope. There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, I'm like, for me personally, when I look at, like, say, Fame, I'm not touching that. I'm not going to have, puts here and there or whatever. I'm just not going to do that stuff. But
I will say Fame and Fiat has been, I've been trying to learn more and more about it because I see the upside of it. This comes from when I was doing all my options trading stuff, which is that you can use a little bit of leverage in the intended way to cover positions or gains that you've already made, but you're waiting for a certain trigger, like, I don't know, a calendar year for taxes, so to speak, and you just want to make sure that those gains don't go anywhere. Something like that does give you the ability to either put a long or a short position open to help hedge your bets. You're not gambling, you're hedging bets.
Yeah. Also, with liquid loans, you don't have to put up your Pulse's collateral. You can just buy the token and stake it.
Yeah, truthfully, I mean,
You don't have to
just
play
buy some of the
leverage.
stability pool,
You can
right?
do leverage too.
Yeah, buy a little, yeah. That is, I mean, that's the thing too. Like me personally, I wanted to pull some of that out because I'm holding. And the nice thing is, once you know how to use liquid loans, right, the vault does end up becoming kind of like just a hodl position for you. Have a really high ICR, and then just let your coins sit there, and then you get rewarded by pulling, some USDL out, put it in a stability pool. Bam, there you go. Now you got a money printer. And some people, don't really want to mess around with that, and that's fine. That's not really their thing. So
I want to cover an update that Liquid Loans
okay.
has done to their front end on their website. So what Nate was talking about right now with the ICR, they now display, if you go to the website on your PC or your computer or whatever, I don't know if it works the same on mobile. I imagine it would be similar, but on the top left of the screen, it'll have a little battery bar with TCR, and that explains the total collateral ratio. And then right next to it, they have your personal ICR. So if you have a loan taken out on Liquid Loans, it now displays to you, no matter what tab you're on, your personal ICR and your debt in front, the DIF. What that does is that represents the cumulative total value of the USDL debt of all vaults that have a lower collateral ratio than your individual collateral ratio position. So one thing that people didn't realize with liquid loans in the beginning was if you were the lowest collateral ratio and other people wanted to redeem their USDL for Pulse, then their redemptions would pay off portions of your debt, and they would take your collateralized Pulse out of its vault. And some people had their entire debts wiped, and therefore they lost all of their pulse. Some people lost portions, et cetera, et cetera. But that was something that it was always clear in the notes, like this could possibly happen if a person was one of the lowest collateralized positions on the leaderboard for like the liquidations and stuff. Like then you were at risk of being liquidated, not liquidated, excuse me, but you were at risk of having your debt paid off by other people in exchange, and them exchanging the pulse for your pulse in your vault, and then that wipes clear your debt. So congratulations, you still have the dollars that you pulled out. Excuse me, you still have the dollars that you pulled out when you took your loan, but now you have in your less pulse in your vault because other people have extracted it because you were the lowest person on the totem pole. That's why it's really important. When Walrus was talking to Nate and Tracker, he had mentioned this, that it's very important to not be the lowest collateralization rate on the leaderboard, because when people want to trade their dollars back for Pulse again, then it takes that from the lowest people on the threshold. So it now shows you how much money would need to be taken out before your position would start getting its collateral taken away, and people would start paying your debt off for you, whether you like it or not. So that's a new feature, a new upgrade. It's not a new feature, but it's a new display of information that Liquid Loans now has on their main site. So I just figured that people would like to know that you're getting the juicy alpha from us here at the DGen Roundtable first.
Yeah, and one Radzim, what was his name? Radzim, whatever.
Rodzim.
Yep, Razim. Okay, so he he had a consultation with me, and one of the things that we did was we pulled a bunch of USDL out for him, got his really low, and then he got redeemed. And overall, he only lost 1 million pulse, and so now all of his pulse is liquid while still being in that stability pool. So for him, that was a big win. A little bit risky of a play, but it's definitely a big win for sure.
Yeah, so essentially what happens is if you get redeemed against, then that means it like presupposing that the price of Pulse has gone up since you put in the loan and the point where you get redeemed at. It's essentially like, congratulations, you have DCA'd out and your loan has been paid off. So like you still have the dollars and you have paid less loan to get, or you have paid less Pulse to get those dollars. But it's more information for people to understand how best to use the tools in their tool bag and the protocols that are available to them.
Exactly. And truthfully, when it comes to onboarding into Pulsechain, right, you want all these fancy little toys people can run around and do things with, because ultimately that's the stuff that they're looking to do, right? And then when they start finding all these like little communities, you know, that's going to be attracting people as well. Tangang is doing a really good job at doing art and stuff like that. That's kind of their main thing. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Alrighty. So I want to go ahead and give a little bit of a shout out to the chat. You guys are doing really well tonight. Go ahead and start over here with Billy Slime. I love it. Love it. Thank you for joining us. Crypto Chronic. Happy to have you here. Then we got Tam Tam. It's great to have you here. Dre has just been on fire with this LL stuff. Brendan, I'm glad you're watching us today, brother.
Tam Tam is part of Diamond Hand Gang, by the way. She is never selling.
Excellent.
Heck
Excellent.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, be careful with that, because you don't have any money if you never take profits. So I understand the sentiment.
This is
Excellent.
true.
We said that.
But left side of the bell curve gang does welcome her, even if she is not one of us. Glad to have you. This is the fun side of the bell curve.
Awesome, awesome. Yep. And then we got PhD 805. He was apparently redeemed 3 times, I guess. he's got a lot of alpha on liquid loans, so we got another liquid loans maxi over here. Hey Ricky, what's up? I see you in there, as well as you, Russ. Niall's still going crazy. Great to have you guys. Alrighty. So does anybody else have anything that was on their minds?
I have an NFT shill, if anyone would, or well, rather a giveaway. I've taken a little page out of Fast Abdul's book here, and I'm feeling awfully bribey right now. I was also feeling bribey on Friday's chat, but I think, excuse me, not Friday's chat, on Friday's book club stream. But I wouldn't mind talking about that a little bit, Nate, if you wouldn't mind giving me the floor.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, sweet. So essentially, what's happening is I like to have fun games, much like the I've noticed this with the Tang Gang as well. They enjoy funny numbers. So in order to be a member of the Tang Gang's like super cool club community thing, you have to have 69,420 HOA, which I think is like the numbers 69 and 420 are hilariously funny numbers to me. And so I quite like them. On Friday during our book club, I announced live that anybody who and this is something I'm doing on-chain data, and I'm practicing my data analysis with all this stuff. But essentially, anyone who buys a number of DRT coins that includes the numbers 69 or 420 or 5555, because I figured why not throw in the Richard Hart staking, like the hex staking number in there as well. So 69, 420, or Quattro Cinco, the 5555. People who make buys in those numbers, whether it's like $690, 69,000, or excuse me, not dollars, DRT coins, right? So the way that I'm measuring this is I'm looking in the DRT column on Dex Screener. So whenever I see buys, I'm looking for 69s, I'm looking for 420s, I'm looking for 5555s, or any combination of them, you know, like if you want to buy 400, like 420,000, you know, like, or if you want to buy 690, or you know, 55,550, you know, however many, like the column that I'm looking for is the DRT token. So I'm playing a little fun experiment game, and I've already seen, I think there's been 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 wallets that have bought DRT in a number that has 69 or 420 in it. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's the number of DRT coins that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the Pulsechain. I'm not looking at like whatever the other swap ratios are. I'm looking for 69s, 420s, and 5555s in the DRT tokens bought. And so if you guys are interested in owning a Crypto Sloth NFT, then well, you know, I'm going to send a Crypto Sloth NFT to one of the addresses that has bought either 69 or 420 or 69,000 or 420,000 or, you know, 5,555 or whatever, you know, one of those 3 numbers of DRT coins. So I hope that that is clear and concise. The best way for you guys to do this is by using the 9mil.pro website, right? Because right now the pairing of the coins is on 9mil.pro. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat. So 9mil.pro, that is that's the website that has the major pairing for what Zenith said. Hell yeah, that is the website that has the major pairing for the DRT against Pulsechain. I'm also going to drop in the chat the deck screener link, so that way you can look at the same thing that I'm looking at, right? And this is just basically, this will basically tell you like, hey, this is the thing that Will's looking at to determine which address to send these NFTs to. Now, mind you guys, these NFTs are rare items. They were minted for 1 million Pulse back when Crypto Sloth was doing his Sloth NFT Pulse and everything. And so they are limited edition. They are all sold out. The only ones that exist are the ones that are in circulation right now. So if you want a Crypto Sloth NFT, all you got to do is to be in the running is to buy yourself some DRT before midnight tonight, Central Time in America. I know that we normally do Eastern Time, but I'm in Central, so that's what I work with because it's easy for me. But anyways, if you buy DRT in a 69 number, a 420 number, or a 5555 number, then that would be very funny. And I'm going to send a Crypto Sloth token to a wallet that does that. I had originally said that there will be one NFT sent to a pool of like, so like you can buy however many times as you want with any one wallet, and that wallet will get that number of times, like that number of buys will be like the number of like tickets in the raffle. And then the other raffle will be for like the poorer folks, I guess, who only want to do like I don't know, who can only afford one buy, or I guess that people can only afford a couple pulse worth of DRT. But anyways, I said that in one of the raffle, the number of buys would be the number of tickets, and then in the other raffle, I said the number of wallets will be the number of tickets in the raffle. So there will be two Crypto Sloth NFTs given away as a result of this silly little buy DRT game that I'm playing. So if you guys want a Sloth NFT, then buy yourself some Degen Roundtable token. Now, I can't give you financial advice. This is all just like a fun little game, and you should not expect to profit off of my work because this is just a non-fungible token. It's just a piece of art that exists on the internet, right? So, anyways, that's a fun, cool thing that I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, alrighty, guys. So I'm thinking we have beat this up quite a bit. The whole idea, we definitely do need to try to get as many people onboarded as possible. I think this is a great space for the normal crypto goer to be coming into. There's a lot of opportunities for people to learn, you know, especially around here. This community is all about learning. So we definitely want to get out there and get as many people onboarded as possible. And I'll tell you what, RG3 and the gang are really doing a great job at that. So let's do everything that we possibly can to help them out. And yeah, so let's wrap up here. Will, do you want to tell them where, since you were already kind of going on with the Sloth entities, we'll start with you.
All right, you guys can find me personally at linktree/Will Stevenson, and you can join my Telegram at t.me/Hex Meetup. I will drop those links in the channel after I am done talking. It's been great. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share this channel out to your friends, talk to people you know about cryptocurrency, and just be a general good person. That's all I got.
Yeah, agreed. Jeff, you want to go next?
Oh, sure. I'll just be doing the same old thing, DCAing, crypto research, working. If you need me or have questions for me, you can find me in our Telegram group. You can find that in the description of the channel. Besides that, same old. I got a couple of things in the works that I don't want to say yet, but that are going to be pretty exciting in the future. So we'll get to that one day.
Heck yeah, I'm excited to hear that. Z, you want to go next?
Absolutely. We just finished up How to Win Friends and Influence People on the book club this last Friday, which means we are looking for a new book. So if you want to hop in the Telegram below via the QR code or via any of our other links, like maybe the one in the description, go ahead and hop in there. You can tag me and give a book recommendation. I will add it to the ever-growing list or the ever-growing stack of books behind me, and I will put out a poll later this week, and we will decide what the next book will be for 2 Fridays from now. So not this Friday, but the 9th of February. That is what we're looking at. As always, I am Zenith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Hex Space Force or Hexaco Space Force. And I just want to say thanks for showing up. We're glad to have you here. And it sounds like if you're going to Vegas, there's a decent chance we might see you there.
Yeah, and I'm glad I didn't have to follow Jeff's throat clearing from hell there. So good job, Zenith.
I do what I can.
Yeah, so it looks like San Francisco and Kansas City are going to be playing in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Looks like San Francisco just won the game. So but yeah, so I'm Josh. You guys can find me on Twitter, on Instagram at Chocolate Taints. Nate, have we I sent you I didn't get a chance to check the private chat. If
Yeah,
if we
too
have
spooky, right?
yeah, is that good to go? Okay, yeah. So we'll be back Wednesday. Yeah.
He should be. The one funny thing is that he says, yes, I'm down for that day. I'm down for it. And then, but I'm like, okay, it's at 8:00, and he never confirmed the time.
Okay. Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure he's good.
We're still working on confirming the special guest for Wednesday. But yeah, we got a bunch of good stuff for you guys coming around the corner. I am going to be heading to Florida in a couple weeks. So I got like a week or two of stuff to do on the channel. And then I'm going to be punching out for 2 weeks or for a week or so. While I'm down in Florida hanging out, normally, sometimes I'll have my Daytona 500 hat on. So, but do that every year. So that's coming up President's Day weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, just cool channel stuff that we got coming around the corner. Again, shout out to the chat. You guys were murderous tonight. I appreciate it. Niles, Dre, I saw you guys hammering down hard all night. Love it. Love that sort of stuff. Yeah, man, Ravens didn't show up today and Kansas City did. There's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? It's, but I don't live or die by the team. So yeah, I mean, it sucks. Ravens aren't playing in the Super Bowl, but whatever. NASCAR's right around the corner, and then football season will be, stone's throw away. So yep. But looking forward to what we got coming up. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, join, all the good stuff. Nate, take it away.
Right on. Yeah, and unfortunately the Lions lost by 3 points. So I was really kind of hoping to see that. I mean, I'm not a Lions fan, but I was kind of hoping to see them in the Super Bowl. That would have been their first ever. So it is what it is, right? But yeah. No, thank you guys for joining us today. As Jay likes to say, time is your most valuable asset. And yes, you are spending it with us. We appreciate that a lot. We're here to help out as many people as we possibly can, navigate the minefield that is the crypto space. And yes, we need to go out there. We need to onboard as many people as possible and help them as well. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and exit here. I hope you have yourselves an absolutely amazing one. Remember, degen responsibly.
We about to go up like.